What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel to check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on the biggest mistakes that I think that LeBron James has made throughout his basketball career. And these mistakes, in my opinion, are what's going to uh really damage and hurt LeBron James' legacy, in the long run. And I think that because when you think about what LeBron James did, man, I just think it was just a miscalculation on his part. It was greedy, and it was very short-sighted, right? Um, and so LeBron James, in my opinion, he prioritized liquidity over legacy for the short term, right? And what he did basically is what he just in the short term, he put teams in a position where they had to prioritize winning right now over being able to build their team for the future. And so when you do that, you put yourself in a position as a team you can't really build for the future because everything that LeBron James want is demanding like the team react now. And so early in his career, he had the leverage that he could do that. He could do that with Miami. He could do it with Cleveland. He did it with Los Angeles up until, this last contract where Los Angeles was, they just refused to give LeBron James that 50 something $1 million that he had or that he thought he had coming. But up until then, LeBron James has always put teams in a position where they had to pay they had to pay the maximum amount of money. And they couldn't build for the future, with LeBron James there because he left nothing on the table for you to go out and get, anybody else that was especially most of the teams that he played for and that he uh he won with, they never really had a strong bench, right? It was always, that their first five got to get it done or it won't get done. They never really had a strong bench on any of those teams to think of that when you think about LeBron James. And I always said about LeBron James, you had to if he had stayed in Miami with Pat Riley and allow Pat Riley to build teams around him, they might not have went every year, but I guarantee that with LeBron James's talent, they would have been very competitive every year. And then on top of that, Pat Riley would have found the talent and developed the talent that who knows they would have been in a position where as though they could have went, and probably would have won and been able to string more championships together. But LeBron James, being the kind of person that he is, thinking that he could do everything himself and wanting everything to go his way and wanting to get the maximum amount of money that he could right then and there, that's what hurt him. That's what hurt him then because if you think about his championship record, he won 4 championships and lost 6. So he had a less than 50% chance of winning, when he was able to make it all the way. But just imagine if LeBron James had been the kind of player who just stepped out of the way, stepped to the side, and allowed a great general manager to do his job and put the right pieces and the right talent around him, right? And you remember when Michael Jordan was at when he was at Chicago, and that was the big thing with Michael Jordan. Like Phil Jackson wanted Michael Jordan he wanted him to trust his teammates, right? And that's part of what made Michael Jordan great. Like he learned how to trust his teammates instead of having to do it all himself. That's why Michael Jordan was able to three-peat 2 times because he learned how to trust his teammates. And Phil Jackson was able to do the same thing with Kobe Bryant. Trust your teammates. You need your teammates. But it wasn't the same with LeBron James. LeBron James was just so greedy and wanted all his money up front that you couldn't develop some talent around him or put somebody around him who was a defensive specialist or somebody who was a rim protector that would allow LeBron James to be great at what he did and what he bring to the table, because LeBron James didn't allow that. He didn't allow general managers to do that. And that's why you had LeBron James, like I said, he had a less than 50% winning rate in his in the championship. So once he finally made it to the championship, LeBron James, he didn't win like a lot of people thought, that he should have won. And I basically chalked that up to LeBron James and his selfishness, right? His greed, the fact that he was very short-sighted when it came to being able to put the right teams around him. And this player empowerment type situation, I thought was really a curse, in my opinion, because it made LeBron James think that, that he could do two jobs and that it was cool for him to wield a certain amount of power. It was cool for him to be selfish in a way that, like he wanted the spotlight. He wanted all the credit. He wanted to accept none of the blame, and he wanted all of the money. And that's why, in my opinion, that like people now, especially when it comes to general managers and people who run basketball teams, and you saw it with the lady Jeannie Buss, like she talked about like some of her resentment when it came to LeBron James, how LeBron James was just so ungrateful and so unappreciative of some of the things that the team did for LeBron James, like how the Lakers bent over backwards for LeBron James, and then LeBron James showed no appreciation, no gratitude, no loyalty. And if LeBron James was in a position where as though he could have did a favor for the team, you can almost guarantee that LeBron James, if that favor didn't benefit him, he wasn't going to do anything for the team, to benefit the team. And that's just, I think, was a poor way for LeBron James to manage his career, a poor way for LeBron James to manage his legacy in his life, man. And I think that the greed just showed. And so now you have LeBron James signing with the Philadelphia 76ers for less money than he has ever made in his career. When you think about how Michael Jordan in his last his last 2 years, ring number 5 and ring number 6, Michael Jordan made over $60 million, close to 70. He made over $60 million those last 2 years he played with Chicago Bulls. And here you got LeBron James, his last 2 years. And I don't think he's going to go beyond this year 25. I do think he's going to go up to year 25. But his last 2 years, he's looking at $8 million. When it's obvious that LeBron James will be bringing more than $8 million. Like the teams that are this Philadelphia 76er team is going to make way more off of the TV deals that they're going to get, ticket sales, merchandise, all that stuff. They're going to make way more than $8 million, right? But because he has exercised his leverage in the wrong way, he won't be able to tap into that because of how he managed his career. See, if the Chicago Bulls had not have paid Michael Jordan that $60 million for his last 2, Mike still had enough gas in the tank where Mike could have went somewhere else and made that money from another team in the league. But LeBron James has burnt so many bridges throughout the league and has done so many teams like dirty that nobody's going to really give LeBron. Everybody know that you can get LeBron James on the cheap. Cleveland said that they had $3 million for LeBron James, right? Miami, you knew that Miami didn't really have a lot of money left for LeBron James because they spent their money on Giannis and made other moves even before, like LeBron James was an afterthought as far as bringing him to the team. So everybody around the league knows that you could have LeBron James, whoever got him, they was going to get him on the cheap. And with LeBron James, like I said, this year, the TV games and stuff like that, that's going to be worth millions of dollars, probably hundreds of millions of dollars. And if LeBron James play his 25th year. Now you got the LeBron James tour, right? The LeBron James retirement tour with him and Bronny. That's gonna be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And here you only playing this man $8 million. So this is a bid that LeBron James made himself. And so with him making this bid himself and managing his career the way he managed, LeBron James really can't blame anybody but himself. So with that being said, man, that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video. Peace.